Oh hey, you've got me making my annual predictions list, this time for 2022. I know what you're thinking, how unoriginal, right? Well actually, I have a hidden talent. You see, every single year I get 2 of my free predictions right, no matter what. For the past 5 years, this has been correct, so hoping for 6th year running. Here we go. We've got FIFA 23, Farming Simulator 23, and Pac-Man World 4. So which one's gonna get the cut? Well, I think it's the time's up for FIFA this year. I mean, I haven't seen any sporting related balls in so...
Picture this, releasing a video game. It's fun, isn't it? After you get past the crunch, endless bugs and glitches, figuring out a decent advertising pitch, ensuring graphics are up to standards of the most recent pricing model, and get reviews anywhere from 80 to above to ensure people don't think it's the worst abomination of all time, it's a pretty fun time. And maybe, hey, you'll get an actual successful game out of it. And who knows, maybe you can do it again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again,
Make
and
it
again,
stop!
and again. Welcome to the world of yearly releases. Basically, if you have a really successful game, just keep releasing it every single year until people grow to hate the series, your developers run out of ideas or get burnt out, or they just keep getting better. Now, in my opinion, yearly releases only come in like 3 categories, each is distinct in their own unique way with their own pros and cons. But first of all, we have the biggest offender. FIFA, Madden, NFL, NBA, F1, MLB, PGA, and probably so many other combinations of letters and numbers that they start to look like a chemical equation, and all of these fit in the category of, we could probably release these titles every 5 years to make them feel significant and just have an update every year to refresh the roster of characters, but they make literally millions of dollars in profit just by having the new number on the title, so why would we stop? I mean, I just don't have a lot to say here. If you like football or soccer or golf or whatever you call this sport, then yeah, these games are simulations of these sports. I mean, look here, I'm playing FIFA 18, I'm just kicking the ball around and getting it into the net. That was the wrong net, apparently. And to anyone who's like, oh, that's FIFA 18, FIFA 18's the best one. You've been seeing footage of FIFA 15 this entire time. Do you see what I mean? I could just be ignorant. I mean, I'm sure there are minor additions every single year that make each game feel somewhat unique, and maybe that's enough for some people, but it could be so much more, surely. Like, couldn't EA just update the game each year for like $5 instead of $60, and then every couple years throw out an actual new FIFA game, and this new game could actually have much better graphics and stuff for players to look forward to?
Oh. I could also just be dumb.
I think this is also a good time to throw in some kind of simulation games. I mean, I know they don't exactly fit with sports, but you know, like hobbies and activities that you can partake in over time. It's kind of like you're doing these like every single year. I just think it kind of fits. It's the same sort of like yearly branding. Simulation games feel like there's more room to improve than with like sports simulators. Stuff like FIFA, Madden, you've kind of got the basics down, there's not really much more you can do, but stuff like farming is endless.
I played it for 5 hours and followed all of the tutorials and I just don't get it.
Okay, so before we jump into the actual game, we have to go through 6 tutorials, because if you jump straight into the game, it tells you nothing. No controls, no figuring out how to earn money, you just have to figure out the right ways to cut down trees and how to cause a traffic violation. Now that I'm in the actual game, what do? I hired people for what? Okay, well, I tried a little bit of harvesting here, some of this really convenient wheat. I did some of that, but this field is really... Wait, hang on. I can buy a dog? Oh my god, I can pet the dog! Oh, this is the best game ever. Okay, well, clearly, I don't know what I'm doing on my own farm, but there are these little side quests you can do. They seem kind of complex, but this one about just transporting stuff from point A to point B, this seems kind of self-explanatory. So, okay, let's aim for the orange dot. And I'm stuck. I'm actually physically stuck in the side of like a railing. I'm not sure what I'm meant to do here. The trailer's stuck and it's... Oh, goddamn cement mixers. Ugh. Alright, half an hour later, and I'm not joking, this took half an hour, I got the tractor and the trailer free, and it's really cute that there's this like quaint little town here, and you can just pass through the people. I guess this is a ghost town? Never mind, okay, I got to the orange dots, and I don't have any way to move these. Okay, maybe I have to go to the red dot. I mean, it didn't say which dot to go to, so yeah, okay, I just have to go up here, and what did I press? I pressed up. I'm on a train? Why am I on a train?
I should play Train Simulator. No, one thing at a time.
Let's just turn here. Cement mixer, what are you doing? Please. Oh my god, okay, I got here to this castle hotel. I guess this isn't where I meant to be. This is where I meant to bring the stuff to, I think. Okay, apparently what I needed to do was buy the right tools in order to actually lift the stuff that was in the other dot. So I'll just order all of that, which took most of my money. I mean, might as well buy a car. I mean, I have all this money. I can terraform? Hang on, this is big. It's like Animal Crossing. Oh, that cost 20 grand and I have no way to get that back.
Yeah, I don't think I was meant to be a farmer. You'd think for a game that was released annually, they'd have like really solid tutorials in there by now, but I guess they don't really intend on making that the focus of the game, which is weird. I mean, I played Farming Simulator 19. Maybe 22 has like better tutorials and better guidance, but I kind of doubt that, because the trailer looked like the exact same game with better graphics, which is kind of just every yearly release with a number tacked on the end. But hey, maybe if you're a farmer as a hobby, this is like a really great game for you. I've heard if you have that as a hobby, you get free food, so it's kind of solid.
Next up, we have games that really don't need to come out every single year. There's no obligation to do it, but they do anyway, and people kind of expect these games on a yearly basis now. One such example that's really commonly brought up is Call of Duty, the best-selling FPS game that I heard everyone talk about in high school and never anything since. Since 2005, by the way, there's been at least one new Call of Duty on at least the main consoles. At least one a year. That's including handheld versions for the DS era, by the way.
And I just don't care.
Look, I know Call of Duty has its fans. Believe me, you go to a high school locker room with the guys, chances are they know about Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure the multiplayer is like a blast for some people, the zombies mode's like super chaotic, and the campaign exists, but when I'm playing through Modern Warfare 2, and I'm playing through the campaign, which is probably the thing that is meant to hook me the most, it just doesn't do anything for me. Believe me, when I'm single-handedly hearing COD out of all of the video game franchises the most in high school, I'm giving it a try. I've played Black Ops 2 on Wii U, Modern Warfare and its sequel, and I gotta be honest, the best experience I've had was an FPS on the DS. There was a really cool boat level in this one. Do you guys remember the boat level? God, the boat level. In my opinion, I don't think Call of Duty has ever been a bad series per se. There's tons of quality things that are crammed into each installment. It's just that because it's released every single year, people are probably getting a little bit sick of it. Of course, you have the diehard fans and the new kids who are really excited to finally play these FPS games, but it's just not as appealing to as many people as it once was. Oh.
30 million. They're just gonna keep making these.
Assassin's Creed is another game series that sticks in my mind as releasing every single year, and honestly, I thought this stopped a lot sooner than it did. I remember Assassin's Creed Unity got a lot of backlash for being unfinished and rushed in a lot of places, and thought they stopped the yearly releases here. But apparently they didn't stop there. They stopped in 2018, where they took a break for 1 year to just keep releasing them until 2020. And at E3 at least, they said that they were just focusing on Valhalla and updating that one, which I think is a much better method over releasing brand new ones every single year. At the very least, taking a break for just a year has helped this series tremendously. The recent installments look a lot better than the previous ones, and I just think this is a good step forward for the series. There are other examples of this. Microsoft loves pushing Forza out as often as possible, and Sony releases Gran Turismo when they feel like it. Why do you need a prequel to a racing game? Square loves to throw something Final Fantasy out the doors every single year, and honestly, if you thought Sega just made Sonic games, I wouldn't blame you.
Honestly, how can anyone buy into a series that releases yearly, with multiple entries a year even? How could you ever buy into a series like that, especially when every game isn't even guaranteed to be good? Now then, If you excuse me. Pokemon White, Diamond, Platinum, all here?
I love to bash on all of these games and say that their series have gone downhill with all the releases, but really, what series is more shameless about its constant releases than Pokemon? To be fair, Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise in the entire world, and like there's spin-offs and mobile games to support it, but when for the past few years we've had Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Sword and Shield, the respective DLCs, then we have Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Legends Arceus, and we're getting Scarlet and Violet as well, it's getting a bit too much. Any attention for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was completely overshadowed by Legends Arceus, and it's a better game, so that makes sense. But it doesn't make sense to release a game 2 months after the previous game that you just released. Oh my god.
They finally released a Pokemon Center, like, online store in the UK, which means it can be delivered here. And I'm really scared of that because I cannot stop thinking about this Mudkip plush. I was fine it was just in the States.
While I can't say much for the other series I've talked about as I'm not really into them as much, I can talk about Pokemon, and I gotta say, the yearly release structure has shown it can be quite difficult on the developers. Let's Go was really charming and cute, but it felt like really short. Sword and Shield were games I enjoyed a lot more than others, and the DLC really added a lot to the experience, but it felt that the main story was so lacking. Like there was so much they wanted to do, and they just pushed it all to the last minute, which didn't seem like the right way that game was meant to be structured. I enjoyed Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but it did feel like they were more releasing it because they needed to rather than wanted to. They could have included so much and fixed so many more problems than they did address in this game, but it seems like they're just going to focus on Legends Arceus, which, to be fair, is the Pokemon game I've been looking forward to most since, like, X and Y, I want to say. It feels like proper Breath of the Wild, of fresh air for the series. But why did they release it in January? Nothing releases in January. That is the bit with January. It's quiet.
I just want developers to have all the time in the world they need to develop the best games possible. I mean, I don't really care about them being released yearly, but I would like consistency with each game having character customization, some sort of creative mode, at least 100 hours of gameplay, infinitely replayable, potentially like every 5 years with like completely new features. That'd be great, thanks.
One last one before we go to the final section. Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, granted, there wasn't a release in 2020, but I think we can all agree if that year didn't exist, things would be a lot better, so I'm gonna not count that year, and instead list off all the releases for the other years. 2014 saw the release of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2, the following year seeing Five Nights at Freddy's 3 and 4. Both of these were considered the final FNAF game at the time, by the way. 2016 saw the release of FNAF World and Sister Location. 2017 saw Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. 2018 saw Ultimate Custom Night. Both of these were released for free on PC, by the way. That's just, like, these are, like, full games. That's just really nice. 2019 saw the release of Five Nights at Freddy's Special Delivery and Help Wanted, an AR and a VR game in the series, which are kind of spin-offs and kind of needed for the main plot. This series is weird. 2020 saw no new releases, but actually there were console ports of the first few games to Switch and PS4 and Xbox, so really something released this year. 2021 saw the release of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, and planned for 2022 is Five Nights at Freddy's Plus.
I counted all those nights up, and let me just say, that's a lot more than 5 nights.
Not to mention the free random bonus browser games you get sometimes, like Freddy in Space 2, and all of this was done up until 2018 by an indie developer. That's crazy. And this is the series with the games. This is a series with the novels.
And so we've reached the final section. These are games which have seemingly escaped the eye of disgust from people who don't like yearly releases. These are game series which, for some reason, if you count spin-offs and like remakes and stuff, they definitely fit in this section. But there are a few that just keep releasing games for some reason, and no one seems to care. Or they care, and the series is just too good. Kirby's in this section. I love Kirby.
Let's start off with Mario. I mean, you know Mario. He's that guy. Mario. I mean, it's no surprise there's a new Mario game every single year. He just does everything. And a year without Mario would be like a day without water. I mean, you can do it, but it kind of just tastes nice.
Would Mario taste like Italian food or mushrooms?
But during the 3DS and Wii U eras, there were definitely too many Mario games, at least for the platformers. Between 2009 and 2013, we got New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Galaxy 2, 3D Land, New Super Mario Bros. 2, and New Super Mario Bros. U, and Super Mario 3D World, which some would describe as, yeah, a little bit much. I remember people were getting sick of Mario around this time, which usually never happens. But I mean, if I've shown anything, it's that yearly releases can really make you queasy.
Just like mushrooms do for me, and man, Mario sure is a fun guy.
Kirby is another series I didn't consider going annually, but the more I looked at it, the more I realized Nintendo just loves to throw Kirby into like anything, which has led to a bunch of spin-off games and fun timelines such as this and this. Those were big years for Kirby fans. Halo was a series which could do absolutely no wrong, and following the release of Halo 3, one of the biggest games of all time, Xbox released a new Halo game every single year until Halo 5 released to show them that wasn't really the best idea they could have had. Honestly, throw Pac-Man in here as well. Like, I don't know if this is strictly yearly, but god damn it, every year I hear about a new game that's about Pac-Man and it isn't Pac-Man World 4, it's just another way to play the arcade game. But the series that surprised me the most was The Legend of Zelda, and here's why. With every other series on this list, there's been some negative to having annual releases. Games start to be unfinished and released too rushed. People get tired of seeing the same franchise be released year after year. The games can blend together and become monotonous. But for some reason, Zelda has been a consistently quality series. Mostly. Since 2013, if you include spin-offs and remakes, which I do, because I bought them all, then yeah, there's been a new Zelda release every single year. And the way they've done it is honestly really smart. The constant balance of remakes, spin-offs, and new releases have been all at good distances apart, including Brace Yourself Games, which is an indie studio making Cadence of Hyrule, a masterpiece. This has allowed the big releases like Breath of the Wild and Breath of the Wild 2 to feel exciting and to stand on their own while keeping an annual release stream. This is a big surprise to me because honestly, it's not something I want or really needed any series to follow. It's impressive they've been able to do this, but it's made me realize that I don't need my favorite series every single year. Not even something like Zelda, Kirby, or Pokemon. I just need quality games whenever they come out.
And those were just a few examples of some yearly releases, and overall, it's not that I hate the idea of a yearly release. It's just that every single time there is a series that starts to go yearly, it starts to bring the quality down so much, and I start to really think it negatively impacts both the developers and the fans and just everything about it. There are a couple of exceptions, sure, but I don't think those really outweigh the negatives for me. I just hate the thought of developers being overworked or games being unfinished or unpolished. I'd really prefer a game have some sort of structure, like consistent updates with every game occurring every like 5 years or so. Something like Minecraft or Fortnite or Call of Duty Warzone. There it is again! God, they do both methods of release. But I think the main thing I miss out on with yearly releases is that excitement. You know when a game hasn't been released in so long in a franchise, like New Horizons. The last mainline Animal Crossing game was 7 years before this game. And if New Leaf had released like the year before, there definitely wouldn't have been as much excitement as there was for this game. There's something just so special about a game taking a while and then eventually releasing. That excitement, that anticipation, and you just don't get that with something like Call of Duty. Look at games like Horizon 2, Pikmin 3, Halo Infinite. These fans waited so long for a new entry in the franchise and it was so worth it when it happened. But I've been classified as dumb like 3 times now, and you just have to look at GTA to see where I'm wrong. I mean, their last game is GTA 5, their next game is GTA 5, their current game is GTA 5. Maybe we just shouldn't release games at all. I think that would be better. Maybe we should focus on mortgages. I just don't get it, God. Now, if you, excuse me, these are falling over. Oh my god.